Lyra's wings trembled as she sat in the crowded waiting area of Galactic Medical Station 7. The iridescent membranes, normally a vibrant purple, had faded to a dull lavender, a clear sign of her deteriorating condition. Around her, beings from a dozen different star systems waited their turn, their ailments as diverse as their anatomies. None spared her a second glance. For 3 cycles, she had traveled from one medical facility to another across the Azeran Confederation. For 3 cycles, she had heard the same dismissive diagnosis. Your species simply has a shorter lifespan. There's nothing to be done. The Xindi physicians, with their 6 eyes and clinical detachment, had barely examined her before declaring her condition untreatable. The hovering mech doctors, renowned for their neural expertise, had simply prescribed pain management. The ancient Dorn healers had offered only ceremonial treatments that did nothing to slow the crystallization spreading through her flight muscles. Lyra was the first of her kind to leave Azura Prime, the first to seek education and employment among the stars. Now, she might be the first to die alone among strangers, far from the floating forests of her homeworld. Visitor 347, proceed to examination room 12, announced the automated system. Lyra rose shakily, her wings tucked tightly against her back to avoid bumping other patients. The corridor stretched before her, bright lights reflecting off sterile surfaces. Room 12's door slid open as she approached. Inside, instead of the expected Confederation medical droid, stood a human. He was tall by galactic standards, with short brown hair and skin the color of fertile soil. He wore the standard white medical uniform, but with a colorful patch sewn onto the sleeve, a symbol Lyra didn't recognize. "Hello," he said, voice warm and accented in a way that suggested universal translator assistance. "I'm Dr. Tom. I'll be examining you today." Lyra hesitated. Humans were newcomers to galactic society, their homeworld having been discovered only 20 years prior. They were still considered primitive by most advanced species, though rumors of their adaptability and unorthodox thinking had begun to spread. "But human doctor?" she questioned, unable to hide her surprise. Dr. Tom smiled, revealing blunt teeth. "I specialize in xenophysiology with a focus on flight-capable species. The station brought me on as part of a diversity initiative." He gestured to a comfortable-looking examination platform. "Please make yourself comfortable and tell me what's troubling you." For the first time in her long journey, someone was actually listening. Lyra explained the progressive weakness in her wings, the crystallization visible at the joint membranes, the growing pain that medication barely touched. Unlike the other specialists, Dr. Tom examined her thoroughly. His hands were gentle as they extended her wings to their full span, his instruments more varied than the standard Confederation scanners. He took samples, conducted tests, and reviewed her medical history without a hint of dismissal. "The Confederation database has limited information on Azeran physiology," he admitted after an hour of examination. "But I've seen something similar in migratory birds on Earth." "Birds?" Lara questioned, the translator struggling with the term. "Flying creatures," Tom clarified. "They're not sentient, but their wing structures have some fascinating parallels to yours." He pulled up holographic images of Earth avians. Some develop crystalline deposits when their mineral balance is disrupted. Lyra's secondary heart quickened with a dangerous hope. "Can it be treated?" "I believe so," Tom said, his confidence neither arrogant nor forced. "Your body is processing certain minerals incorrectly. The standard Confederation nutritional supplements aren't calibrated for your specific needs. In fact, they're likely making the condition worse." He worked quickly, compounding a new treatment regimen. "This should dissolve the existing crystals. And this," he added, programming a small device, "will help recalibrate your nutritional intake." "Why would you help me when no one else would?" Lyra asked, watching him work. Tom paused, considering. "On Earth, we have a saying, 'First, do no harm.' But I prefer its corollary, 'When you can help, you must.' The Confederation has impressive medical technology, but sometimes it misses the obvious in pursuit of the complex." 2 weeks later, Lyra stood at the observation deck of Station 7, her wings extended to their full magnificent span, the iridescent purple once again vibrant and strong. Below her, The swirling atmosphere of a gas giant created patterns reminiscent of Azura Prime's skies. Testing the new strength? Dr. Tom asked, joining her at the railing. Yes. Lyra folded her wings with a fluidity that had been impossible before his treatment. The crystallization is completely gone, the pain too. Excellent. He smiled, genuine pleasure in his expression. I've uploaded your case study to the Confederation Medical Database. No Azuran should be turned away with those symptoms again. Lyra tilted her head, studying him. You've changed my fate and potentially that of my entire species. How can I repay such a debt? Tom shook his head. No debt. But if you're willing, there's a human medical outpost being established in Sector 17. We could use someone with your perspective. Humans may be newcomers to galactic medicine, but we're building bridges where we can. As Lyra watched the stars beyond the station, she felt something she hadn't experienced since leaving home: possibility. The human approach to medicine wasn't hampered by centuries of established procedure or hierarchical thinking. They questioned, adapted, and persisted where others had given up. I would be honored to join your outpost, she said. Dr. Tom extended his hand in the human gesture of agreement, as Lyra carefully wrapped her three-fingered hand around his five-fingered one. She understood that she'd have found not just healing, but a new path forward, one where humanity's greatest strength was not their technology or their knowledge, but their unwavering belief that no problem was unsolvable if you cared enough to try.